Peace, peace, and love, everybody. Um, Something interesting has transpired. Allow me to share the screen here. Um, you know, when you talk about um wickedness, malfeasance, um, dark activity, right? Um, in government, that's essentially corruption. And share my screen. Corruption is not sustainable. People gotta make a decision. Um, Based on the actions and the activities that they're seeing. I want to make something clear to you all. I want to remind you guys of um, where this all started. Four words: constitutional crisis and sedition. An affidavit alleging that there's a conspiracy going on between Jay, as the ringleader, Nova, and Drake. This is where it started. I omitted Dominique's name. I omitted Isaac's name. Okay. This was all about AMPAC 2.0, constitutional crisis and sedition. What is sedition? When the head of state, which is directly linked to the people and the state, when that authority is being subverted and undermined by an entity or some foreign group or a group that's part of it, part of the state. Government officials is an example, but they may not be government officials. The U.S. federal corporation is owned by a foreign entity and operated by a foreign entity, pulling the strings behind the scenes. So all the presidents are puppets. That's sedition. There's another entity operating behind the scenes, subverting the power and authority of the head of state and the people, the will of the people. This is what I'm alleging. The what took place thereafter confirmed it. The activities, the rebellion that took place thereafter confirmed it. The affidavit was an investigation call was calling for an investigation into those matters relating to the association between Jay, Nova, Dre, and AMPAC 2.0. Had nothing to do with the empire. It's protecting the empire from this seditious activity. And where did I derive that conclusion or suspicion? Well, it was obvious, it became very obvious that Jay Bey was the sultan behind the scenes, is the sultan behind the scenes. In his recording, he said, I could have been sultan, I could have been sultan. He keeps saying that. I could have been so easily, I could have been sultan. Well, he always said that he likes to be the man behind the scenes. He's always said that to me. But he told us the truth in his recording. He said that I am a lead actor and that he's the producer and director. And I'm just a placeholder. Okay, so you're the sultan behind the scenes. How can I prove it? Okay. When I called for the investigation, didn't everyone, all the three branches came together? Like he said in 174, all three branches came together and said, no, not going to overthrow the empire, which then suggests that Impact 2.0 is the empire. Because all the affidavit and all my documents is talking about Impact 2.0. So basically, so you confirm that when you say we're not overthrowing the empire. So all three of you branches, all three of those branches came together to stop my coup d'état against Impact 2.0. Supposedly, it's not a coup d'état. It's a state of emergency, right? To deal with a conspiracy of a coup d'état. But he said that I'm conducting it or performing a coup d'état against the empire. But it's to Impact 2.0. So if that's the case, then you're admitting that Impact 2.0 is the empire. Well, that's my point. That's why I wrote the affidavit. But what was the the activity? Impact 2.0, Jay, Dre, Nova shut down access to the governmental database. Right? So I couldn't access it. Akil couldn't access it, which is the prime minister at the time, vice prime minister, interim prime minister, and at the time the consul general. You proceed then to excommunicate me and put out gag orders to everyone else to say you cannot talk to him. The Sultan, I'm still the Sultan now. At the time, according to their jurisdiction, their Sesame Street jurisdiction, I was still the Sultan. This was on the 2nd. Affidavit came out on the 1st. On the 2nd is when all this took place. It's in the prime minister's affidavit. He went over that. That's so AMPAC has authority. AMPAC has authority, control over the governmental functions and the three branches. Treason. The three branches came together between the 2nd and the 3rd to vote no confidence to impeach me. And on the 3rd, this is of October, Jay Bey was sworn in, or a private member bill was passed on the 3rd to recognize Dre as the interim sultan. And at this point, there still hasn't been any investigations. There still hasn't been, right? No due process. So they already voted and passed the bill. Who wrote the bill? We know it's Jay Bey. Collusion. Collusion. The independence of the judiciary was undermined. What else happened? As an example, Ampag is on the call. Did you get any correspondence from your wazir or your Sayaraha informing you of these proceedings or asking for your vote for the impeachment? Anyone can speak up. Could be just one person. It don't have to be all of you. Ampag, hello, are you there?
No, we didn't.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, so everything was done absent of the people's vote. Everything was done absent of the people's vote. By the 3rd, the affidavit came out on the 1st. By the 3rd, boom, you're impeached, or we voted to impeach you. Then on the 5th, I get they have their hearing. It's secret. You find out through the grapevine. I wasn't there. I was supposed to be there. It's a hearing. Okay. And then by 12, I received an impeachment document, an impeachment court proceeding saying that I was impeached. And then on the 7th, I get another letter, another email saying, "Oh, never mind, you're suspended." I mean, did they share this with you all? I mean, it is public records. No one asked questions. Everyone just, are we in La La Land and we're not just not paying attention? Are we in La La Land and just someone gotta mute themselves? Oh, sure, I think that's you, sister. You gotta mute yourself. There you go. Thank you. And you're on camera. There you go. Um, are people not? Are you? Is everyone in La La
It's
Land here?
point of interest, Sultan.
Yes. Yes.
It was supposed to be sent to the AMPAC registrar, and it wasn't. Isaac was forwarding it to me, and I told him where it needed to go. And Wazir Watson Ali oversees the registrar, so he's supposed to send it out to everyone. But it's a long. They have docket numbers, and it updates. It adds on as they go. So it's probably 39 different dockets.
Right.
And it what you're speaking of, that letter was within those dockets. I don't know which number it was. So I don't know who
Mhm.
received it from the registrar or how
That's
many
the point.
knows
There
about.
was no there was no transparency. Did any of you receive the affidavit that I submitted on the 1st?
I saw the affidavit. I think we saw it, didn't
On the
No,
1st? No,
no,
on the
I
1st.
didn't
Did you
see
get it?
that.
I sent. I'm not talking about the when I sent it to you, sister. I'm talking about on the 1st when it was submitted. When it was submitted to the wazir. He was supposed to transmit it to the people.
No, no, never came to the office.
Okay. You see what I'm saying? Secret. It's like a Masonic organization. This is foolishness. I don't have time for this. I didn't sign up for this foolishness, man. We're supposed to be government competent. It was merely an investigation. That's what they conspired against. I didn't remove anyone. I didn't remove anyone until the 14th because this kept going. I kept giving more and more time, more and more chances, more and more due process, and they kept doing more and more things. Why did AMPAG? I had a meeting for AMPAG to give AMPAG the clarity, and why didn't y'all show up? Because you were told not to. By who? The head of state or AMPAC 2.0? Do you see my point? And everyone keeps going with AMPAC 2.0, and they keep going with AMPAC 2. That's the sedition that I'm calling out. That's sedition. That's treason. Jay Bey is not the Sultan, but he's operating as such, and I'm gonna prove to you how. Because because him bypassing and slithering. Let me say it again, slithering past the investigation is telling you that he falls under Article 80, Section 2 of the Constitution, which belongs to the Sultan, who is not to be investigated. So you said you ain't to be investigated. And all, Boomy, you got to put yourself on mute, please. And everyone, all three branches, I should say, came together and said, no, Jay Bey is not to be investigated. Amir Kane L., Mr. Don Julio, he was on the call with the consul general when and with me. And Boomy, you got to put yourself on mute, brother, please. Someone put Boomy on mute. Boomy, please. I don't know how people get off mute and then they don't even hear you. And it's interesting. Put yourself on mute. Thank you. That stuff causes me to lose my thought process. So he was on the call, on the three-way call with me, the consul general at the time, Kanye Chauvin, discussing the investigation. That's all it was. And in their independence, They were telling me, we got to shut it down for 14 days. Well, mostly it was Kanye, but he was there. We got to shut it down for 14 days, and then we'll conduct the investigations. Normal stuff. They'll be suspended. Normal stuff. If you're under investigation, normally you go under suspension, leave of absence, something. What, is this government or not? Is this competency or not? What did he say? What did he say later on after that?
That's the damn
Put yourself
problem
on,
now.
put yourself on mute, Jazz, please. What did he say thereafter? Shortly thereafter? Oh, I'm out of this one. I'm not gonna conduct the investigation. I gotta protect Jay Bey. He promised me something. He promised me the assistant general position. They're jockeying for positions. This is not government. You know how much respect I lost for that guy? Mr. VSOP. Okay. So I've already proved this seditious activity. And I didn't have to do too much. They're showing it to you. But you got to look and see. Stop allowing yourself to get your mind twisted up by his slick wordplay with his silver forked tongue. Preside means, oh, you're just there. You're just a fly on the wall. You have no authority there. You got to wait till somebody like the prime minister petitions you. So I guess that's what a judge does in a courtroom, huh? You got to think critically. The people is who voted me in. It's the people who got to call for my impeachment or agree to it. If the government want to bring it, then the people got to agree to it. If they bypass the will of the people, what do we have? A monarchy, tyranny. And who is the Sultan? Jay Bey. He is the behind the scenes Sultan. So we progress through this storm and we continue growing and we keep growing in a moment that I'm supposed to be falling. He's supposed to be crushing me, as he likes to say. He crushed this competition. I crush you. So I'm supposed to be getting crushed. Yet I'm growing. We've recognized 2 political groups forming. Vita California, congratulations. Ali Bamu, congratulations. YD State Republic, who is reclaiming Nevada, yeah, they will be recognized real soon. They don't have too many boxes left. We're not gatekeeping around here. We're moving along. We're allowing for the nationalization of our people and the state recognition of our people. Is there a vetting process? Yes. But the gatekeeping corporate structured agent like gatekeeping, stalling out the Moors, y'all better pay attention. Stalling out the Moors, you make the 2.0 version of this nonsense, and yet 10 months later, no one is recognized. The 2.0 version is supposed to be the easy version, but it appears to have gotten harder and harder. So good luck to Ampan and good luck to Moroccopolis, because there's another North Carolina state, PGF, who has reached out, and we're going to work with them. And we're going to get them recognized and nationalized. It's a new empire with a new vision and a new mission and a new direction. So this whole thing has caused the real empire to thrive. It caused us to grow. And what happened? Here comes AMPAG. AMPAG were the first to see the truth. AMPAG is the biggest state. AMPAG chose the entire submission to the laws of the empire and disregarded the seditious, treasonous activity of AMPAC 2.0 and J. Jermaine Bey. So now what did he do? He calls his puppet, his VSOP minion, one of the Beavises and Buttheads, I used to call him that at the Centennial. Watson Ali and Amir. I used to call him Beavis and Butthead, in case y'all didn't know. Oh, it hits different now. Oh, it hits different now. So now this Mr. Paper Pusher, who knows nothing about administration, he has admitted it to me. Why do you think he did such an excellent job with the security detail at the public inauguration? It's because he was trying to impress me, because he wanted to be what? The Minister of Defense. All of a sudden, now he wants to be Attorney General and Consul General. And he don't know nothing about a computer. Jay Bey done got in his head, and that's shameful. So what did he end up doing? So he sees that Ampag has chosen the entire submission. What'd he do? He calls on his minion, then writes up a letter for him. So this guy is in the executive branch, and the Sith Lord is in the judicial branch. So the behind the scenes Sultan Sith Lord has now wrote another script. the Mr. John Lucas has wrote another script and gave it to his actor, his drunkard actor, his Mr. DUI actor, who could probably, he's probably incapable of spelling Don Julio. It's in Spanish, and I speak Spanish, and that's what this is about. So now they want to send a letter from the Consul General, the removed so-called Counsel General. Keep in mind, all these people have been removed. Let's not forget that. They all have been removed. So this is a parody. It's a play. It's entertainment. Popcorn and hot dog and Cokes. That's what you should be having while you're watching this foolishness. It's all shenanigans. It has no standing. I have already nullified the People's Proclamation of Nullification and Restoration, October 6th, which removed Isaac and removed Jay, and nullified those fraudulent kangaroo court proceedings henceforth. So even the foolishness they did today, which is their Christmas day, the 26th, they can't wait till the 26th to get here to open their presents. That's all fraudulent. It's been nullified since that proclamation. See, Jay knows that. He knows that. He knows what I'm doing. That's why he can't go with the law any further. There's nothing he can do with the law. So what he does, he comes with weird low blows that's implicating him. So this letter to officials and nationals of Ampag from Amir King, removed Amir King L. And I'm not even going to read off that fake title he got next to it. Subject: notice regarding the political status of Abdul Smith Al Kabir. Okay? This notice serves to address significant concerns. Now it's a significant concern regarding the legitimacy of Abdul Smith Al Kabir's claim to the office of Sultan of Morocco. Now this is a concern. Listen, a claim made following his declared state of emergency on October 1st, 2025. Recent events now, I just spoke on the reasons for the state of emergency. All three branches colluded with who? The enemy, Ampag 2.0, who has subverted the will of the people and subverted the authority of the Sultan. And in doing so, violated the Constitution. Therefore, state of emergency. And it wasn't on October 1st. It was an affidavit. I did not invoke the state of emergency until the 4th. I submitted the document. I used state of emergency on the title of the of the affidavit, but it was an affidavit. What I'm saying with that is we're in a state where this is going to end up being a state of emergency if we don't clean this up right now. By way of this affidavit and this investigation, we need to clean this up right now, or else it's going to become a state of emergency. They didn't want to listen to me, so I had to show them better than I could tell them. And then on the 4th, I called for a state of emergency, on the 4th, it's after you had already did what? Voted no confidence without bringing in the people's vote and passing some private member bill based on collusion and a violation of Article 75 to swear in or recognize, I should say, the other puppet as the interim sultan. Recent events have caused tension and division, prompting this formal clarification. Now we need a clarification of this political and legal status. Just that first paragraph, Kane ain't right that. You're talking about Kane from Menace to Society. The Office of the Consul General has conducted an investigation. Really? Was I ever questioned? Was I ever brought to the table? Because that's part of an investigation. The person who is being accused of whatever should be questioned, huh? Okay. Which concludes that Abdul Smith Al-Kabir is an illegitimate occupant of the office of Sultan. His political status is incompatible with the requirements of Sharifian law and the principles of Moroccan sovereignty, fundamentally due to his nationality and immigration status. Okay. The central issue is that Abdul Smith Al-Kabir was born in Panama. Now that's an issue. Oh, oh, where is it at? Oh, that's an issue now. Hold on a second, y'all. Here we go with this crappy game. I want to show you something. Hold on one second. There we go. I'm just gonna show it and then I'll move on. Where is it? Oh, that's not it. Hold on. Right here. Oh, look at all that melanin. Oh, what happened there? Okay, I'll go back to that. I'll go back to that. To the descendant of, I'll go back to the descendant of Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand. Oh, want to play with me? Okay, let's talk about nationality. Okay, was born in Panama and is a lawful permanent resident of the United States, a green card holder. And now Kane ain't capable of none of this. A fact he has publicly acknowledged. The Exhibit A. He does not meet the qualifications to be considered a Moroccan national and is therefore legally disqualified from holding the office of Sultan. Really? Okay. The evidence supporting this conclusion is clear. On May 29, 2022, Abdul Al-Kabir took an affirmation of renunciation of naturalization of the United States. This act was predicated on the false claim that he was a U.S. naturalized citizen. He possesses a U.S. permanent resident card, which proves he is not a U.S. citizen. Furthermore, a U.S. permanent resident card, which proves he is, I'm sorry, where am I? Furthermore, the Treaty of Madrid 1880 specifically states, specifically Article 15.1, which addresses the right of protections of, and I'm glad they're pointing that out, for Moroccan subjects naturalized in a foreign country, applies only to its signatory powers. Panama is not a signatory power to this treaty. Therefore, even if he were a naturalized Panamanian citizen, he would not be recognized as a Moorish subject or protege under this treaty, granting him no right of protection or return. First of all, do you really think that Amir Kane L put this together? Let's stop this already. Collusion. To be a U.S. citizen, one must be issued a certain certificate of naturalization, at which point the permanent resident card is surrendered. As per this article, Abdul Smith Al-Kabir remains a lawful permanent resident, as he is neither a Moroccan national by the requisite standard nor a naturalized citizen of a treaty signatory power. He has no legal standing to, look at what he said right here. He is neither a Moroccan national by the requisite standards nor a naturalized citizen of a treaty, right? Treaty signatory power. Okay. He has no legal standing to claim sovereignty or office of the Sultanate. In light of these facts, the office formally challenges the legitimacy of Abdul al-Kabir political status and his claim to authority. He advised that aligning with his political faction, he advised that aligning with his political faction carries significant risk. As a green card holder, what? As a green card holder, his status in the United States is conditional and he is subject to U.S. immigration laws. He could be subject to deportation for various reasons, including if his political activities are deemed contrary to public interest. Associating with an unstable and legally tenuous political entity could jeopardize your own standing. We urge you to consider this information carefully before making any irrevocable decisions. And then then they give you my, whatchamacallit, my permanent resident card. Nice try. Let me help y'all out with something. Because what he does is he preys on the people's ignorance. Now, mind you, that this was everyone has already, like they said, I had already made it public, never hid that. If you're saying that I did something fraudulent, then it sounds like to me that number one, you're complicit in the fraudulent activity. There was a Monday call where he supported that I'm Panamanian. And I'm sure y'all remember that. And there's been several times that he's done that. Okay. But let's get back to the law. Let's go to the law. Let's go to the law. Where are we? Since we like the law, I'm a man of the law, is what he likes to say. Okay. Let's go to Article 15, like he said. Right? Right? Foreign country, right? Foreign country. Any subject of Morocco who has been naturalized in a foreign country, right? Okay. Nice try in trying to tell people that Panama is not one of the signatory powers. Nice try. This is just, thank you though. But it's like clownish. Where's the signature page? Oh, it's at the top. Okay, let's go to right here. Yep. Can somebody read what they say?
Yes, for Spain and Canovas del Castillo Seal.
Okay. Let me do something else. Belgium, France. Okay, France as an example. Let's see. I'm looking for Portugal. Is Portugal part of the Treaty of Madrid? Not the, yeah, here it is. I knew it was. In Portugal. So let's just use these three to make the point. Who colonized Brazil? Can anybody tell me who colonized? Not the people that I was on the call with earlier. Somebody else. Somebody
Portugal.
tell me who colonized. Oh, okay. Thank you, sir.
Spain.
Portugal. So, is Portugal a foreign country that naturalized the Moors? Because if that's the case, then the Brazilian Moors, Article 15 applies to them. France. I don't know. Let's say, as an example, Haiti. Haiti was colonized by France. Can the Haitians exercise Article 15? Somebody tell me yes or no to these two questions.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. So who colonized Panama?
The U.S. didn't they?
Spain.
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 You
That's
see?
why they speak Spanish.
Exactly. You see? What? Really? This is the attempt? Why? Oh, we're losing Ampag. Ampag has a lot of people. We got to protect you and save you, Amir and Watson Ali and Isaac, right? Because if you don't have nobody, then you have nothing. But again, they've been removed, so they don't have anything. They're regular nationals. This is just like General Hospital. This is what this is. This is a reality show. This is love and hip hop. So now they're trying to scare you to have you come back. This is why I told you it's about you. That's why this meeting pertains to you. Because they're trying to convince you to come back to AMPAC 2.0, to the seditious activity. They want you to come back to your dark lord, the behind the scenes sultan, the chancellor, right? The Sith Lord of the Empire. While I'm over here as Luke Skywalker with Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? Right? The Supreme Jedi's protecting the Republic from the Sith Lord and his incompetent puppet stormtroopers. Case closed. So this is going to be an AMPAC study session 175, more than likely. And then they're going to be reading whatever, right? The removed so-called judge of DMT. It's actually Tyrone. It's and keep in mind, let me remind y'all of something. That flag and that seal, DMT didn't pay for that. I was intimately involved in the development and the establishment of DMT. That was Coleman L. who paid for that seal and that flag. It was Coleman L. It was me, Coleman, and Akil working together to establish our states. But I got mine done first, and then I started helping them. He would always call me, Abdul, could you please call Makara? She got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And I nurtured her. She was always 1 foot in, 1 foot out. He didn't like Jay Bey at the beginning. I had to convince her, like, man, just trust the brother, man. And it's not even about him, it's about the information. I've always said that to the Moors. Because that's what they always told me. I don't like his person. I don't like the way he seems. I'm like, man, don't worry about him. It's about the information. It's not about him. It's always been about the information. I don't care, but it's not about personalities. And this is where these incompetent removed officials, this is where they failed at. It's personalities. So Article 15 of the Treaty of Madrid applies to any of these countries that has colonized the Moors. In my case, it's Spain. Furthermore, okay, let's accept your premise. Let's accept your premise. Let's reduce this a little bit right here so we can put it side by side. And there's more of this to come. Let's go with your premise. Can I at least, at the very least, can I be grandfathered in? Can I be grandfathered in? I mean, at least I am a Moor. You can't question my prima facie. Can we have a bill on that? Oh, oh. Then maybe I should. I'm just saying. Can I be grandfathered in? I mean, we did grandfather her in. Do you see the difference? That's the descendant of Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand of Spain. And how coincidental that I'm one of the Moors who were colonized by Spain. Interesting. And that was my reasons for looking at it from a positive perspective. looking at it from a positive perspective and trying to support her, I would make that as a point. But from the regard that, well, it was your ancestors we fell to. Well, it's your job now to help us come bring this thing back up. It's divine. That's your job. You're the workhorse. Get it done. You're the what DJ said? Over. Somebody want to finish that? Over what?
Overseer.
No. Over what, secretary? Y'all forget? That made Jay Bey mad as I don't know what. Over glorified secretary. Y'all forgot that? You're an administrator. You're my admin. You're supposed to be doing all my jobs. You're supposed to be writing my letters. You're supposed to be writing no letters. I'm the Sultan. I don't write letters, Nova. You write them. You're the administrator. You're the one with all the skill sets and the Google Drives. You put it together. I'm the Sultan. I'm your boss, lady, who has been grandfathered in. But then you want to question my nationality that comes from colonization of, through, or from Spain. Like the Argentinian Moors, and the Mexican Moors, and the Venezuelan Moors. Huh? The Chilean Moors, the Brazilian Moors, North, Central, South Morocco. North, Central, South Morocco. So after 1880, when all those countries signed up, they all colonized all over up and down Morocco, which also includes North, Central, South Morocco, and Spain had the biggest piece of the pie. The biggest piece of the pie. And this is what I wanted to bring to your attention. Ampag, look at what they coming with. Where's it at? Look at the chess move, the latest. Oh, hold on, what happened to it? Where did it go? That is somewhere right here, but that's the latest chess move. Oh damn, where did I lose it? That's the latest chess move. Any questions, comments, or concerns to what I just laid out regarding this latest chess move?
Yeah, it just seems like they reaching. And it definitely shows uh the their failure to do things properly still. Yeah, desperation, definitely. They didn't even bring out anything about previously what they initially stated before. It's just another false reach and just trying to do stuff. And it shows their incompetence for sure. Well, I yield with that.
Point of
Shame.
interest.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to add to the fact that all these the Sultan called on this meeting not only for to show us this information, but there are several due processes, ideas, actions, or i.e. acts that can be done in due time based off of these everything that's going on. We've been talking about potential laws on denationalization. Is that it? We how many laws are we seeing broken here? How many defined terms do we have? Right. So I just say we gotta pretty much think about what we have to do from this moment on as it relates to these situations, whether we can act on it now or in the future, just jot it down. Right. But I yield with that.
Gratitude, Grand Wazir. This is
Point of privilege.
this is wicked stuff. Go ahead, good brother.
What I just heard, it was a self expose. It's revealing. It's a telling on one's self because what I learned from Jay Bey was that law is precise,
Exactly.
meaning that it has its own execution. You don't need to manipulate. You don't need to contrive. And so with all of the missing of the due process and not really following the law, it's contriving and and it reeks of desperation. Um, he has my he has my he has my compassion. Um, I don't believe he's a demon or a devil. I do believe in fallen angels. I do believe people who fall out of trust and succumb to their doubts and their fears, because those are the only two energies that run this planet. It's either going to be love or faith, love or fear, and so the points that you laid out about the signatory powers and yeah, and really putting the nail in in your presentation with comparing someone that was grandfathered in. it just it's just somebody exposing and revealing their desperation and their fear, and so but
Mhm.
it's evident, it was evident to me the first time I read the the affidavit of truth and that big old that big old Article 10, you know, um,
Right.
it just said it all. I mean, upon all this other stuff, this other mountain of stuff that's coming out, um,
Mhm.
the Article 10 said it all, and there's there's no pen that can write around it, and there's no eloquence that can speak around that.
Exactly. Exactly.
It is the Great Wall of China,
Mhm.
and so yeah, personally have not really needed any more than that. Um, uh,
Yeah. Right.
to see the behavior of following that,
Mhm.
and I know that there's a lot of people that need more convincing, need more proof. Maybe they're still under the spell, but uh, I enjoyed being under the spell until I saw Article 10. Article 10 broke that spell for me. No, you can't go around Article 10. So
Mhm.
Point of
I use
interest.
that.
Point of interest here. Attorney General.
Appreciate
You
that, Amaru. Great words, excellent words, great point of interest, and I appreciate. I've always appreciated your discernment. So thank you very much, good brother. Go ahead, AG.
Islam.
Thank you, Wazir Amaru. We need to have you speak more because you always bring light, calmness to the empire. We talked about uh, certain individuals, Jermaine and a lot of the officials talked about we don't want a monarchy. And we don't have a monarchy. A monarchy is a bloodline where the king dies, son takes over. King dies, son takes over. King dies, son takes over. That's a monarchy, which gave no one else in that country an opportunity to lead that country. It was based all upon bloodline and monarchy. So now you told on yourself again. You stated to the people that we don't want to be a part of a monarchy anymore, which the only way that you can hold the position of a sultan was through bloodline. You come back now and talk about this man to the left when it says any dark-skinned person is a Moor. We vote in a Moroccan, a Panamanian Moroccan, who does more work for the Moroccans, who's defined himself as a Moroccan national. The people voted him in, which states once again, this isn't a monarchy. So then you say the Sultan is trying to be a monarch, but the Sultan that we voted in has no blood, has no father, did not die as a Moroccan national, and then he became the Sultan. Hopefully I'm making sense. His son, when Abdul Smith Al Kabir is no longer here, his son does not fall right into the Sultan position once he passes away. Are y'all staying with me, Morris?
Wow.
Yeah.
So this isn't a monarchy. The people elected this man in. So I wanted to point out to you is they once again told on themselves, like Brother Wazir Baru, they told on themselves again when they said that the Sultan is trying to be a monarch, but the monarch means no one else has an opportunity for that high seat. That's a monarchy. So now you try to sway everybody with his permanent residence card. And if I may ask a question to the floor from a legal perspective, who did he give that permanent resident card to? Question to the floor.
Nova.
Ampac
Okay.
2.0. Ampac 2.0.
Okay.
That's the answer.
But let's be okay. He gave it to the executive director, the executive chief of staff. Who else knew about his permanent resident card? Chief Judge Jay Bey, former Chief Judge Jay Bey. Who else knew about his resident card? The Prime Minister. Who else knew about his resident card? McCarr. They found nothing wrong with, at that time, of him putting his name in the hat as the Sultan. There was nothing wrong with it then. The people, which I still don't feel anything is wrong with him being our Sultan, based upon the fact that Spain colonized Panama. The original language that the Moors used to speak was Spanish when they used to travel across the seas doing business with the Puerto Ricans, the Venezuelans, the Spain, as we had Spain in servitude from 711 to 1492. This is a far reach. Like Wazir Amaru said, this is desperate. This is desperate. And I've worked with Brother Amir Kane Hill closely. And I'm not saying anything. Everybody know I got love for Brother Amir Kane Hill. Me, him, and Amaru, we from the same territory of Detroit, Minister of Foreign Affairs. But we know that the brother couldn't write that document without help. So this is the reason why Jay Bey had been calling this brother for 2 weeks straight every day. Because I was calling Amir and we wanted to talk about his court case and down in Grady. He was like, yeah, well, I just spoke to Jay. And I'm like, oh man, he was just like, yeah, Jay been calling me every day. I said, oh, okay. And I just told him, I said, good brother, just don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Stay focused on what you need to do because you are a consul general. And remember, your office must always be independent. And I explained this to Mir King. And he says, oh, I got you, brother. I got you. Ain't nobody going to sway me. I said, okay, brother. So it's really sad to see that Amir Kane has stooped this low, and they've went to desperate measures. And when the people see this, and you put your Sultan picture up there, which we all see, and then you put Nova's picture up there, so you grandfather Nova in for her to oversee all high-ranking officials, but you don't have any grandfather clause for your Sultan. Does that make any sense to anyone on this call? I yield.
Point of interest.
Sure.
To camel back off of the consul general, during the time that he was supposed to be doing the investigation, Amir Il had recused himself from the investigation. As the investigation began to disappear, because we never know, they started putting how you say it, they were causing folks to not have non-communication amongst MPAG.
Excommunication.
All right, he was excommunicating us. There's a link that they tried to suppress that was put out. And if any of us were to listen to that link, he openly says that he's the puppet master, that he created the movement. This was his constitution that he wrote. You got a lot of I. And in this conversation on this link, he tells the Sultan that he wouldn't have had the seat because unless he put him there, he put him there, and that he had no basically was saying is that we were all puppets, and that this was his vision. And when the Sultan ran for Sultan, he ran with no vision, which the Sultan pushed back on. But however, he was saying that he had no vision, so he told him to sit down and not have, and now don't grow a brain now, because we're moving in his, we're moving according to Jay Bey. So that tape was distributed, and that pretty much broke the camel's back in reference, because he kept saying, I don't want to do this publicly.
Correct.
And if any of you listen to this link, it's pretty convincing thereafter what his motives were and what his intentions were. I yield.
Okay. And if everybody could.
Thank you, Chief
good brother.
Judge Akil from AMPAG. Akil,
If
appreciate that, good
everybody
brother,
can
for your
go
discernment.
sorry. If everybody can go into the chat, just go into the chat and see what I put in the chat from Amir Kane Il, which is going to void ab initio this document that he sent out to MPAG. Can somebody please read what he sent me?
Wow.
Islam.
Okay. He sent that on October 5th. My message to him was, please read your emails. I have given you all an opportunity to access what is going on as consul generals. Our department becomes independent in this state of emergency. Please do your job of impartiality. If you cannot, I fully understand, and you must be removed from your duties from the Empire of Morocco. You all have 1 hour to text me and let me know what you are fully invested into. That you are fully invested into this investigation for truth. Anyone that does not text back with a yes will be removed from our investigation and will be notified of next steps after the investigation is done. Acting Head Consul General. October 5th at 5:20, October 5th at 6:34 a.m. in the morning time, Amir Kane Il texted me and said, I'm removing myself. Did y'all hear what I just said?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Once again, this document is void ab initio. He removed himself, and his message came to the acting head consul general of the empire saying he was removing himself from that investigation, from any type of investigation. Case closed. Mic drop. Amir Payne has no credibility because he removed himself as of October 5th. I yield.
But then he so-called had an investigation against me. Well, when did you ever contact me, sir? Never. And you knew not to. But I don't know who they think they're dealing with. So that's a desperate act because they lost AMPAG. And that's going to cause them to lose more and more people. But I told them in the state of emergency address, it's a sinking ship. They're rearranging deck chairs on a sinking ship. It's the Titanic, the movie. They were playing instruments as the ship was sinking. That's the desperation. What triggered that? This document on the screen. I ain't no fool. This document triggered it. Sultan's decree of official appointments and administrative restructuring. Amaru, wasn't it you that sent it as His Excellency, Minister of Foreign Affairs?
He went downstairs.
Okay, well the answer is yes. Thank you. Okay. By order of His Majesty, and I'm not going to read the whole thing. In fact, I'm not even going to read the top, but just notice, international community, right? United Nations, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Amaru, has identified some better contact information. Oh, it's about to get real serious now. Appointments to the Supreme Government. This is what triggered it. Right here. I'm telling them that this state of emergency is coming to an end. That's why the Cartoon Network show is void ab initio. It's irrelevant. What else did we do? Oh, it's about to come out. We just swore in the officials of Vita California to the empire level. They've already completed their public inauguration. Now it's on the empire level. So now Wazir Buck is of the Wazir Council. Sarah Samara is of the House, right? And the good brother Chief Judge is Larry is of the Judiciary. AMPAC is getting ready to swear in their 3 branches and then take their oath to the empire level. We're just moving forward, cleaning house. So who's the new prime minister? His Excellency Akil Bey, the Grand Wazir. Who's the new speaker? The Honorable Markeisha L, who just earlier expressed her concerns with Nova's attitude, and the speaker suppressed it. Okay? Chief Judge of the Empire of Morocco, the Honorable Cicero Bey. Attorney General of the Empire of Morocco, the Honorable Kanyesho Bey. This is what triggered it. Folks, this right here. This is what triggered it. Minister of Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Al Amaru El Hiram Bey. What else triggered it? This paragraph. Somebody please read this paragraph for me, please.
The
form.
Oh, you got to move.
I bet. Piece is the former cleansing and restoration process for the internal states shall commence immediately with the AMPAG moction under the leadership of newly appointed Wazir Balinke Vine Bey. This will serve as the model for the subsequent restoration of the remaining internal states.
That's correct. Because Dempsey is next. That's the reason why I said on the opening end, the front end of this call, I should say, that it was Coleman who purchased that flag and that seal, which means it doesn't belong to Coleman or Makara or Fishkel Kendon. And I don't mention her name. But that's the other, that wasn't even the original judge either, by the way. He left. That's how deeply I am with Demty. Don't play with me. So that seal and that flag and that constitution don't belong to none of them. It belongs to the territory. So y'all can keep playing them games if you want to. That is what triggered it. So they try, oh, okay, oh, nationality is a green card. So this is what you're picking up on, good brother Butt, when you say an expose. That was hilarious, right? The desperation. But I'm not finished. What else is Bob? We're gonna read this one. Somebody read this one here for me, please. What else is what else what else triggered it? That was the ultimate trigger. But that's not the only trigger. There's more triggers here because you're dealing with me. And if you're operating from a wicked stance, it's very difficult to beat me. It's very difficult to beat me because I'm always operating from a with a pure heart. I'm a pure-hearted person. I just can't even help it. Somebody please read this one.
All right. Official decree. You want me to start from the top?
Yeah, let them know who wrote it.
All right. Office of the Sultan of Morocco.
Islam. Now go ahead.
Official decree of recognition and sovereign protection. By order of His Majesty the Sultan Abdul Al Kabir, Sovereign of the Empire of Morocco. 23rd October 2025. 2. DJ Alexander Bey, Wazir of the Internal State of Alabama Moxon. The people of Alabama Moxon, the government of the Moroccan Empire. From His Majesty Sultan Abdul Al Kabir, Sovereign of the Empire of Morocco. Official recognition and decree of protection. Let it be known throughout the Empire of Morocco, which includes the United States of America, the United States, the colonial state of Alabama, and all foreign powers, that by the supreme authority vested in our person by the Constitution of the Empire of Morocco, vested in our person by the Constitution of the Empire of Morocco, we hereby issue this formal decree of recognition and protection. Whereas this official recognition and decree of protection is granted in accordance with the fundamental principles set forth in Article 98, Section 5 and 6 of the Constitution of the Empire of Morocco. Therefore, we the people do hereby officially recognize and affirm DJ Alexander Bey is the legitimate and duly recognized Wazir of the internal state of Alabama Moxon. The internal state of Alabama Moxon, under his leadership, is a sovereign and integral territorial community of the Empire of Morocco. The said Wazir, DJ Alexander Bey, the people of Alabama Moxon, now and henceforth come under the full and complete protection of the Sharifian Empire and His Majesty the Sultan. This recognition affirms their rightful place within our Moorish jural society and guarantees them all rights, privileges, and protections afforded by the Constitution and the laws of the empire. As such, Morocco shall ensure the integrity, sovereignty, and well-being of Alabama Moxon against all threats, whether internal, foreign, or domestic. Any act of aggression or interference against Alabama Moxon shall be considered an act of aggression against the Moorish Empire itself and will be met with the full force of our sovereign will under Moroccan law. Long live the Moorish Empire and His Majesty the Sultan Abdul Al Kabir, given under our hand and the seal of our office. Abdul Al Kabir, Smith Al Kabir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't know what happened here. Oh, I was trying to highlight it. I'm highlighting these words on purpose. The Sultan is the people is the Sultan. We are one. I speak for you. You said I want you to speak for me. And so therefore this seal belongs to all of you, all of us, because I'm a national first. I'm a sultan second, and a servant at that. Okay? Now, this is the problem. We the people. Congratulations, your brother DJ Alexander Bey. You've been gate kept for, I don't know, 3 years, 2 years. Um, and I'll yield the floor to you in a second. Let me finish with the next one, right? So internal, why did I say, as such, Morocco shall ensure the integrity, sovereignty, and well-being of Ali Bamu Maxin against all threats, whether internal, because we just experienced an internal threat, didn't we? So now I got to throw it. Now we got to let it be known, even if it's internal, external, foreign, whatever, it's gonna get dealt with. On behalf of who? We the people. Know that, and I'm never gonna stop. Moving on. Could you please read this one too? Somebody, anybody.
Office of the Sultan of Morocco, capital address 5651 Coventry Lane, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Official decree of recognition, sovereign protection. By order of His Majesty the Sultan Abdul Al Kabir, sovereign of the Empire of Morocco, 23rd October 2025. 2. Bulk El Shabazz, Wazir of the Internal State of Beta California, Moxie.
Is Buck Banca. Buck Banca.
Buck Banca El Shabazz, Wazir of the Internal State of Beta California, Moxie. People of Beta California, Moxie, the government of the Moroccan Empire, from His Majesty the Sultan Abdul Al Kabir, sovereign of the Empire of Morocco. Official recognition and decree of protection. Let it be known throughout the Empire of Morocco, which includes the United States of America, the United States, the colonial state of California, and all foreign powers that are the supreme authority vested in our person, or the Constitution of the Empire of Morocco. We hereby issue this form of decree of recognition and protection. Whereas this official recognition and decree of protection is granted in accordance with the fundamental principles set forth in Article 98, Sections 5 and 6 of the Constitution of the Empire of Morocco. Therefore, we the people do hereby officially recognize and affirm. 1. Buck. How do you say it again? Something? Buck.
Banca.
Banca. Buck Banca El Shabazz is a legitimate and duly recognized Wazir of the Internal State of Beta California, Moxie. 2. The internal state of Beta California, Moxie, under his leadership, is a sovereign and integral territorial community of the Empire of Morocco. 3. The said Wazir Buck Banca El Shabazz and the people of Beta California, Moxie, now and henceforth come under the full and complete protection of the Sharifian Empire and His Majesty the Sultan. This recognition affirms their rightful places in our more plural society and guarantees them all rights, privileges, protections afforded by the Constitution and the laws of the empire. As such, Morocco shall ensure the integrity, sovereignty, and well-being of Beta California against all threats, whether internal, foreign, or domestic. Any act of aggression or interference against Beta California shall be considered an act of aggression against the Moorish Empire itself and will be met with the full force of our sovereign will of the Moroccan law. Long live the Moorish Empire and His Majesty the Sultan Abdul Al Kabir, given under our hand and seal of our office. Will Smith Al Kabir. Islam.
Gratitude to brother Wazir Rashid Bey of Dimti.
Oh.
Islam. I look forward to sending this a letter similar to this to YD State Republic that's reclaiming Nevada. I emphasize that. So, good brother Buck, Wazir Buck, congratulations to you as well. I think you've been here longer than you're the third Wazir. You've been
Hey,
longer, right? You've been through
thank
it, man. You guys have been through it, and it's well deserved. I mean, I want to apologize to you and DJ Alexander and both of your colleagues of your state for the gatekeeping. Um, it's been a long time. When I was the not the Wazir Council, the trusteeship system by myself before the establishment of it, I was getting people in within 30 days, 60 days, not even. It really depended on you, right? Um, it was really essentially 7 steps. So now we have it. We have 8 steps. There's going to be a few more, but we trimmed the fat. But you guys were obviously grandfathered in because you had already did all the work, Vita and Ali Bamu. Um, and again, I apologize for that, but hopefully I'm making it up with this new empire that has a new vision, direction, and mission. So I yield to you for any words that you may like to express.
well, thank you, Sultan. And it's been a long time coming for our state. You know, like you said, we've been through a lot. I'm the third Wazir, and we we lost many people along the way, and it's been a long time coming. We really appreciate it, and we thank you. And I'm so happy I'm lost for words, but yes, thank you, appreciate it. You.
Absolutely, Wazir.
Um, Sultan, you already know, man. I don't even know how I can just keep thanking you enough. And to be honest with you, you ain't got to apologize because I think, like the sister said, Amora, I think this was supposed to happen for this moment. You know what I'm saying? So I think you had to get the house cleaned in order for us to come in. So it's no apology, that's needed from you. I appreciate you more than you know. Alabama appreciates you. If it weren't for you and Akil, we wouldn't be here. So, man, I thank you for this honor, man. So much love to you on the empire level and on the personal level. A lot of love and respect for you. You know, we got you 100% over here. So, thank you again.
You're welcome, and thank you for those words, those kind words. Um, yeah, I'm still responsible, though I spoke on things. Um, what originally, to be honest, my idea was, how about we just go ahead and finish the decolonization process, then we bring people in. So and this was early on when I was the chairman. Remember, we were having all these problems with the removed states, and it's like, listen, part of why this is happening is because we don't have the credibility. We sound good, but I have the credibility. Let's go get the credibility. I was always wanting to be directly doing the direct job regarding decolonization, not any other fluff. Even though bringing states in is not necessarily fluff, but if we're going to do it, let's do it, right? So okay, so they reject it, I accept it, we keep going. So then it got to the point after the 2.0, I'm still seeing that it's still taking longer. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, how about we just recognize them on the front end and then force them on the back end to do all that extra work? I was trying to find other ways, but it didn't fall on deaf ears. What it fell on was stalling ears, purposefully, not by accident. This is not by accident. This gatekeeping and stalling is not and wasn't by accident. This impeachment against me is not by accident. It's premeditated. It was planned out. And he told us it's true. In that recording, like good brother Akil said, Chief Judge Akil of AMPAC, Chief Judge of AMPAC, Akil Bey, said. He said it correctly. This is the reason why the policy on sensitive materials came out. See, the issue with my veto wasn't it needs a countersign. 5.8, Article 5.8 is express language, it's specific. The problem with the veto is the exposure and the fact that that video would come out. Because remember, like Akil said, I didn't even want this to be public. Yeah, you wanted to talk like that privately. That's why it became a private video. You wanted to tell your truth privately, but still tell it nonetheless. Okay, well, it's public. And it was me who ended up having to send it to Sister Khadijah and Brother Akil, Razam Khadijah and Chief Judge Akil. That's how they was able to hear. None of y'all has heard it. Oh, that's the other move. I've been holding on to that. Because the affidavit proves what I said. The veto proves what I said. Damaging and unpatriotic and disrespectful statements made to the Sultan. Not Abdul al-Kabir, the man, the human being. The Sultan, the office of the Sultan is being the office. Because if that's the disrespect to me, it's the same disrespect and usurpation to any other Sultan and anyone else. Doesn't matter who you are if you do it to the Sultan. So I got that video when I asked the removed prime minister, not even gonna say his name, when I asked him to share that recording, his response was, oh, it's private. No, it's not. Send it anyway. Well, I sent it to him. I forwarded it over to Kanye anyway. And that's when the policy came out. Shortly thereafter. Like within a week. I mean, this guy moves fast. That constitutional class recording thingy, that was part of him getting ahead of it. See, he had already sent one of the recordings from the Wazir Council meeting that was shared with him from the removed prime minister, that he doubled down and sent it to Cicero, Isaac, Dominique, to exercise his undue influence them. So then that recording came in which he appeared as the superhero who saved the empire from the monarch, the wannabe monarch. My first impeachment, I was a dictator. Empress used to go, he's a dictator. Yeah, we could talk about that later, but let's talk about this over here. Why didn't you send the documents out? That's always my energy. So right now he's, oh, you're Panamanian. Okay, that's cool. We'll talk about that later, but let's talk about the investigation and the affidavit. I haven't forgot about that.
Point of interest.
Yes.
The Panamanian. There must have been, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 videos that he did in the study session where he spoke on the Sultan. Your picture was up there. He is the one that promoted you. There's videos on him promoting you, promoting the concept.
It's more than 5, 6. It's like 15, 20. It's a lot of them, but continue.
There's a lot of them. And you can't talk about the Moors without talking about the Sultan, and you can't talk about the Sultan without talking about the Moors. So there's all those videos next to that, what he wrote about the Panamanian thing, you know, it just kind of avalanches any credibility that is trying to have. But the reason why it's an expose and it reeks of desperation because the policies that he wrote, he analyzed America and how they're moving, what they're doing, and came up with protection uh, policies. He was very meticulous. We was always giving him credit for being master of details. He was
Details,
very detailed,
exactly.
very detailed. And so here, with all of these misses with due process, yeah,
Exactly.
that's a person that is not centered and within their true God self, their true God mind, and operating, you know, within the law, spiritual law, and the supreme law of the land. They're in alignment. They're one. And if you decide to make shady political maneuverings, it's not shade. The Constitution is a bright light. It's light. It's the sun. It's the earth. It's the moon. So that's where the expose comes in at. He got out of alignment. He didn't have trust in the trust that he wrote. Um, and that's a pity. It's really to be not pity, but it's really to
No
have
pity.
compassion
It's
for.
not pity. It's a travesty.
I yield.
It's a travesty. And must I tell you that this has been since the inception. Isaac told this Ampag that I was going to be removed. This was months ago. He's not going to be Sultan Law. He's going to be removed. Yeah, it's been a plan. I've been surrounded. This is what I'm telling y'all. That's why I had to be cool on the way I moved. I needed evidence. And I didn't give a damn after that. Without the evidence, without the proof, I didn't have anything. Because what does he say all the time? I'm a man of law. Okay, well, I'm going to use the law. You know, when the law is being used against him, it's like holy water on a demon. What you're seeing here is him running frantic, getting burnt up, running all over the place. You open the window and let the sun shine in. He's got to go find a dark place. He's got to recuse himself. He's got to step down. He's got to move in secret. He's got to move under the radar. It's foolishness. That's what I'm telling y'all. It's not sustainable. Corruption is not sustainable. How do you expect real quick? How do you expect the Europeans to go into government relations with an empire that's corrupt from its inception, from its core? The Sultan ain't got no power or authority. It's been absolutely usurped, and the will of the people. Go ahead, good brother Zach.
Yeah. I don't even know why anybody would try to discredit Panama or Panamanian. First of all, if anybody knew history, they would know that the Panamanian people came from the Creeks. So either way, people out of Florida still Creek, which fall under the Ave, which still makes sure more. I think keep forgetting about the colonization side of things, talking like they're trying to discredit. Now
And he
you,
ain't forgetting. He's detailed, like the brother said. No, he's being shady. He know what he's doing. And keep in mind that all of y'all signed off on it. Y'all voted for it. You too, Jay. So that means you was complicit. You already knew this from the beginning. So all of a sudden it's an issue now. Okay, well if that's an issue, well then let's do this. Let's split hairs. Let's split hairs. Let's split hairs. Grandfather me in. I could be grandfathered in. Certainly can be grandfathered in. I'm all melanin. I'm as black as under the bed. Trust me, I heard every joke, every black joke that there is. It's a desperate attempt. of saving his operation. Oh, did I say a word? You got to maintain full control. He answers to someone anyway. So, what's the positive aspect of this? Well, they had their little, you know, Tom and Jerry show. Today is their Christmas day, the 26th. I can't wait for the 26th to get here. This is what the removed judge of Dempsey said. Styling, showing her baby hairs. Didn't even know, doesn't even know, won't even take the time as a government official to spell out the word business as it should be spelled. You want to say BIDNES, business. Business? And you're supposed to represent the Morris judicial authority. You ain't supposed to be saying nothing. Where do they get that from? Precedent. Culture has been created. The chief judge teach classes on a public platform. What chief judge teach classes on a public platform? Anyone who's teaching classes is someone within the executive branch. So now this individual now they want to go teach classes. Oh, I'm gonna teach classes. Teach what? I know how to do motions. Oh, the more has been knowing. Oh my God. This is who we got. Oh, not we, what we had. They can stay over there. Because truth be told, it's not about judicial reforms anyway in our fight of decolonization. It's about political and social reforms. Period. The low-hanging fruit. Something that any colonized person can do. Anyone can write a letter. Again, stalling us out. Going in circles. So we're going forward. They're gonna do their little seditious void ab initio court proceeding and whatever else, read whatever document of my guilty or in their jurisdiction. But as they continue going forward, if certainly Watson Ali and them can't, they're done. Might as well go find somewhere to sit. And when you have your meetings, you got to create a new link handbag and have them come in as nationals. If they don't respect that, then stay over there. Have your meetings with Nabi and Queen and whoever else. Get more people. Do as you please. But guess what's going to happen? They're not going to go anywhere. That's the operation. Does it keep you going in circles, going up and down the block, around the street, up and down the alleyway, climb the tree, come down the tree, right? Climb that fence but don't cross over, come back down and then go back this way. Like, no, done with that. We're moving forward, a direct linear path, like a bullet train. Complete the decolonization process. So we are moving forward. So while they were doing their little Cartoon Network crap today, we were swearing in Vita California. Hey, next is AMPAG, and then AMPAG again. Moxon level, Empire level. Soon enough, it's the State Republic. Just as well as the QSR. Oh, and guess what else? Nationality comes first. So you're going to have your nationality first before you even establish your state. State recognition comes second. Nationality comes first. We're not going to commingle the two. The nationality is coming from the empire, the country, not from the internal state. Does California give nationality? No, it's the federal America. Since we are supposed to follow the Europeans, and you don't think he already know that? Again, Brother Polaris hit the nail on the head. Details. That's a little detail that he knows. Stalling us out. It's an operation. Y'all better be careful. It's showing itself. Their best option is to just surrender. Because everybody's going to start looking at him like, what's going on? All his PGFs, who's under the spell? So-called Ante Nevada, so-called Moroccopolis. Gonna be looking at them, at him. You don't think Watson Ali, Amir, and Isaac, and Queen have had a conversation? They had to huddle up. That's what they like to do, huddle up. We're huddling up. That's his favorite word. Let's huddle up. We got some things to discuss. You don't have nobody. Oh, but he was promised a sultan position, potentially jockeying for a position, which is a fake position. It's an operational position. Furthermore, it's a puppet position. No. We got to get him out of the way. He's standing too strong. I need a puppet. I need someone who's going to do what I say when I say. I don't need no pushback. I'll do it. I'll do it. I don't have time for this. I'm not going to work with people that are like that. I would rather just step down. If it's going to be a puppet show, if it's going to be an organization, if it's going to be a Masonic whatever, secret organization, a lodge, then I'm wasting my time because it ain't going anywhere. It's not meant to go anywhere. However, Gemini, right? Which is also this person who has been grandfathered in, which means I can also be grandfathered in their jurisdiction. Since it's in their jurisdiction, they grandfathered her in. Well, okay, in your jurisdiction, I could also be grandfathered in. I have more rights, 10 times more rights to it, infinite times more rights. And I lost my other train of thought. I was going somewhere. But there's a lot to be said. And I think I'm gonna end here. I think I made the point, and I made the point long ago. It's all about the 1st of October to the 3rd of October. Examine the documents, mine and his, during that time period. But you can also take it further. You could, let's say, the 7th. Because on the 5th, you had a hearing, but it was secret, and I didn't know. Right? I caught wind of it. Because by 12, that same day, I received impeachment documents from the so-called kangaroo court proceeding. Then I get another email from the same kangaroo court saying, oh, never mind, I meant suspended. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. But I've already nullified it, so it doesn't matter. I say it's not, it holds nothing. It holds no weight. It has no standing. Furthermore, it's Article 80, Section 2. The same article that he was trying to exercise regarding the investigation. I'm not to be investigated. Article 80, Article 80, Section 2. Furthermore, I'm going to call a state of emergency through the Speaker in the High Court because I'm the puppet master behind the scenes. I'm the script writer. I'm the director. I'm the producer. And all of you are actors and placeholders. It's embarrassing. It's shameful. It's wicked. It's dark. It's demonic. It's diabolical. It's lower self. Any points, comments, questions, or concerns before we yield?
Yeah, peace. I just wanted to congratulate the two new states for their recognition, and briefly talk to the Mafas of each state if they have one, or all the other ones in here. The Minister of Foreign Affairs position is critical. Uh, we are the gatekeepers. In that regard, your first and foremost priority is the protection of your nationals. Uh, the reason, and I think I said this in another meeting, uh, for um, the recognition of their failed in process and procedure, the were brought it out uh, in big fashion was the cease and desist order from the prime minister. That was unconstitutional. It violated on so many levels the rights of the people of the country. And in our government, the people, the government don't run the people run the government,
But
so to speak.
hold on, we got to be clear. The former or fake prime minister, because it didn't come from a kill. Just we got to be specific on that part.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that
Okay.
was the yeah, that was the de facto prime minister, uh, uh, Kendon. I just go by the regular name, Kendon, and I brought that to at the time the former Wazir's attention. Like, wait a minute, and at that time, uh, it was his position to bring that forward. I ended up getting a call from the former Chief Judge Isaac Bey in regards to what I said, and he said, "Whoa," he said, "if you saying that's serious." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Y'all don't even know what y'all doing." And he said, "Okay, well, uh, if we want individuals to stop talking about a case, how should I go about doing that?" I'm thinking to myself, I said, "You the judge." And this just shows their incompetency. You know, is nothing wrong with
But you
seeking
can't not talk
advice.
about. Let me say this real quick. You can't for him to say that. How do I get the people to stop talking about the case? That's on. Are you serious? A case is public. Oh wow. Continue. Keep talking, please.
Exactly. Uh, he was basically, and this was prior to the Monday meeting that we had that we had 2 weeks ago. That wasn't supposed to be had because he even asked my advice on that. That should they have a meeting? I said nothing should be transpiring if the government is in a shutdown until everything is handled. But beyond the point, they went on. But the whole point is, uh, the minister of foreign affairs, you have to be aware of the Constitution and the rights of the people. Even individuals that's in seats in high positions could be violating that, and you have to bring that to their attention to the best of your ability. But just to show you the value of your position, don't think that it's just in foreign correspondence only, but your first and vital role is the protection of those nationals of your country. So I yield with that. Congratulations again to the two new states.
Gratitude, Your Excellency. Thank you for those words. And that was excellently stated. And I hope y'all take heed to it. You heard if you were here earlier, before the recording, you seen what he just accomplished. Okay? So, and thank you for that again, your brother Amaru. It's shameful. Any other points of interest? Okay. Okay, well, Grand Wazir, you can close us out, but it's um it's unfortunate that it's what he did. I don't care about him. It's everyone else.
Um,
Those who are supposed to be government officials. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll yield to you.
All right, thank you, Brother Sultan. There is one good point to be made in that we had three men who recused themselves in these proceedings, but yet they were the three men that was manipulating all language, everything that was written or performed or produced was by these three people who recused themselves and who should not have had any voice or act in the matter. And it was very disturbing to watch and to see our people looked upon as puppets and forced to do things that they themselves did not voice. Any of these members that were performing these acts did not perform these acts on their own. They had a script that was written for them, and they merely just read the script and did what they were asked to do, or I should say was
Ordered to do.
ordered to do. I yield.
Ordered. It's an order. I'm the Sultan, but behind the scenes, though. Not really, but yes. And they fell for it. So that's why they were removed. You're not fit to govern and lead a people. I'll say it again. This is not government. This is a clandestine, secret organization operation with a strict and rigid corporate structure. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. And like I said before, there's more to this story, and it will come out eventually, soon enough. Well, there's more to this. Um, all I can say is no weapon formed against the empire shall prosper. And it's the people, right? Our person, we the people, right? Those are key words. So as it pertains to ANPAC 2.0 and their Steven Spielberg, right? Their George Lucas of the world, in their jurisdiction, the government, the three branches came together and said, no, we're not overthrowing ANPAC 2.0. In the empire jurisdiction, we, the people, came together and said, no, we're going to get rid of ANPAC 2.0. So this fight was between the people and the government that was under the influence of a foreign power. Oh, hasn't the United States been dealing with that battle since forever? Basically since 1871. That's what you're seeing happening here. So the people came together to say, we ain't having it. We're not going to overthrow the Constitution and the Sultan and the Empire. But the government came together and said, we're not having it. We're not overthrowing Jermaine Bey and ANPAC and no, but they did a lot of work. He wrote the Constitution. Who else is going to write the documents? Keep in mind, and let me say this for the record, he did not write the Constitution. Y'all stop giving him all that credit. He copy paste plug and played the Constitution from the French Constitution. That's a French Constitution. And he took everything that said France and the French and all that and changed it to Moorish and Moroccan and all that. That's what he did. It was like Noble Drew Ali did with the Circle Seven. It was divinely prepared. It was politically prepared. Ah, it was politically prepared. It wasn't. You didn't write that. You didn't sit down and just. That's why it's an excellent constitution because it's a French constitution. It ain't no Jay Bey constitution. Stop it already. Anyone could have done that. That's easy peasy. He just had the time because he worked for Kanye, and Kanye afforded him the time to sit in his car all day at a security job, just doing documents for the Moors. And he always bragged about that. getting paid under the table, not paying no taxes, chilling like a villain. Just copy pasting and plugging away. That's what he did with all the documents. He didn't write none of those documents from scratch. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of them were handed to him. Moving on. Anyway, he didn't write that Constitution. That's why it's an excellent Constitution. I agree with the fact that it should have been one person who put it together. What I don't agree with is during the town hall meetings when we were examining the Constitution that the people were made to read it and then bring their questions. That was the move because he knew no one would read it. What we should have done is read it in real time because it was like 2 months, right? That was more than enough time to read through 106 articles and ask questions as we go. Because if everyone would have came together to write the Constitution, we would still be writing the Constitution. Too much confusion. Nah, it would have been chaos. So one person had to write it, and then everyone review it together in real time, not on your own time and then come with questions. People ain't got time for that. You got work and all kinds of stuff going on. And some of us just simply don't want to read. But in real time, we would have had an opportunity to dissect it. The people would have, at least, not speaking for myself, speaking for the people. So yeah, the Constitution is an excellent Constitution because it comes from France, not because of his ingenuity. His ingenuity was to copy, paste, plug, and play. Okay, anyone can do that. Okay, and I'm not necessarily trying to take away from what he has done, but let's keep it real too at the same time, because this is the whole energy that the government came together. That's why they came together and protect Jay Bey. He's our sultan. He is not to be even questioned because he write all the documents and Nova did all the work. And Ampac 2.0 did all this work. Yeah, at what cost? At what cost? Because if they could just excommunicate me and just block me, because even at that time, okay, according to their jurisdiction, I was still the Sultan, was it not? Yes, I was. Even according to their jurisdiction, I was still the Sultan in that moment. And you blocked me from accessing the database of the government? Wow. Talk about high crimes. That's a high crime. The Sultan, the interim prime minister, which was actually the vice prime minister, and the consul general, excommunicated and blocked from access to the government database. That where else do we go from there? That's it. That's game over. Just right there in and of itself. I mean, there's so many charges. It's ridiculous. It's overwhelming. I can't even calculate them all. Undue influence, collusion. I mean, I could just go on and on and on. It's gonna be a huge. We need a consul general to help to help the attorney general to gather all this evidence. Every court proceeding that was sent to me via email, I forwarded over to the attorney general. I get it. I forward it. I get it. I forward it. I got one today. I forwarded it. It was just evidence. And then finally, I would say the colonists, they're seeing all of this. Just like he would say, the colonists are watching. They're watching me. I'm the man. I. Me. They're watching me. But he would tell the truth. They trained me. You better read between the lines. Because he's a fork-tongued devil. They they trained me. Oh, what that mean? Could you clarify that for a second there, please, sir? I'm just saying. Y'all better be careful. It's gonna come out eventually. Something is going to surface from this. And this is not the first time he's done it. Mm. Grand Wazir Akil, could you please close